mustard R73 streamer hook, size 6. So this is a saltwater pattern that has been absolutely brilliant for me. So firstly, we take a hot melt glue gun and we put a little thin strip of glue on top of the hook shank. Don't worry about these strands, we turn it upside down and we put another one, and we could take, wet our finger and thumb and just form it a little bit like this. Then we need another drop of melt glue at the front to form the basic baitfish shaped body. So there we go, got that there. I need a drop more glue, just there. Excellent. Now what we do is we can take our scissors and we can give the body a better shape. Basically, this is a bit like trimming a deer hair fly, but a lot easier. So, not so much on top of the hook there. So we take that off. You can see the basic baitfish shape there. Then we take our lighter and we start to warm up. And you'll see it all kind of melting into shape. All the rough edges going. Just pop that down. Get in there now. So we'll take a little bit more of that off. And we're about there, I think. Just need to warm that up again and smooth out the edges. Looking good. What we do now is we take our tying thread and we attach it at the rear of the body there. Remove that. Very good. Then what we need is some, this is Barry pearl mylar tubing. And what's great about this is, what you must look for is if you look at the end of this mylar tubing here, you see that all the mylar is straight. This is very important. If you don't get that straight mylar, this just won't work. So we cut a strip of that. We have to open the ends of it with a dubbing needle like this. You do this by rolling it, then we place it over the hook and back. Move this a little bit more into position here. Okay, get that one strand out of the way. There we are. Then we tie this in. We want this longer tail at the back like this. Now leave that hanging. What we want now is some coipu. What's extraordinary about coipu is, if that's rabbit, you see the guard hairs on this, it's a fur, but the coipu has these extraordinarily long guard hairs. So what happens here, what's different about these guard hairs is, I'll try and show you here. I can get one out. Is that they're actually thinner. That's not a very good one to illustrate it with. But these guard hairs are thinner at the base in the underfur than they are at the end of the guard hairs. So what happens is they get much more, you can see it there, they're much thinner in the base than at the tips. So you get excellent movement in the water from these. So what we do now is we want to work out the length of the tail, which is about there. So now the best way to do this correctly is with a dubbing needle. So we just separate that like that. You wet your fingers and you get that out of the way. That's where we want to go. Just there. So while that's like that, I just place a couple of turns in there, and we can make sure everything's straight and as it should be, that you're not pulling any hair down on the other side. So that's good. Tighten that up. Now to hold this out the way, I use one of these, which is a medical artery clip. It's excellent for doing this kind of thing. So we pull this out, we make a loop, we go once round, bobbing through the loop, put the whip finish hook on there and tighten it up. And we can do that again, but with the last one I go twice around through the loop and tighten up like that. Then I can remove the tying thread like so. Excellent. Then at the front we take a tying thread and we go actually on the glue body and let it slip off, so we get everything tight at the front. Like that. Remove that. Tighten that up. Then I need some fine pointed scissors, and we just go in like that and we remove the front part of the mailer tubing. I don't try and cut this to the perfect length, just to save a little bit of tubing, because it's really difficult to get tight and right. We don't want any open tubing on the body on this. There we are. So now we can tie that down. Go into the body there. Now what we do is we stretch this over. Here we are. Like that. Now we don't want to open it exactly where we're going to tie it on. I want a bit more fur in there. This will make the front stand up vertically. So we'll just keep that there and just give that thread a round profile. Tighten it up, make sure I'm not pulling, that's good. Tight into the melt glue body, and then we can go forward, and I'll just give this one whip finish to keep everything tight. Oops. Managed to get a couple of fibres there. Get rid of them. There we are. Give that a one whip finish. There we are. So I'm not going to remove the tying thread yet. Now what we have to do is very closely trim off the rest of the Zonker strip. Like so. Now we can tie that down. We go into the tail there. That's all looking good. That's all looking good. Now what we want is to open the tying thread. Get in there. And we're going to use this glister sparkle dubbing as the hackle. I only need a bit of this. I'll just put that there while I split the thread. Yeah. I'll just split that tying thread like that. Now you take this dubbing, place it in there, and we spin it. And pull it out. And we want this as a hackle at the front. Whip finish. Remove that, and then what we need is a brush, a bit of Velcro, and we need to pull these fibres out now of the glister dubbing. I want this just to be extremely subtle, just to go into the wing, over the body. Now the whole idea of this, what happens with this cold water streamer, is that it works in both reflected light. So if I move my light into it now, like this, you can see it perhaps in reflected light. But what also happens is if I move it into backlit, you can see that it becomes something very different again. So it works in no matter what angle the fish views this at, be it reflected light or backlit, it will work as a bait fish in either way. And the subtleness of the glister dubbing and the Koipyu hackle, which is transparent again, and the body, this is a really great saltwater bait fish. Very, very good indeed. And I recommend you give it a go. Thanks for watching.